that, as we continue to go out through the season, this has always been the case here, is that we always have this growth, and this trajectory of continuing to grow and get better. And I think the exciting part for us is that we all sense that, we all feel that, and we can control that too as well, in terms of how we prepare, how we get ready, how each game goes, and we feel really excited about where we're going. I think the defense played unbelievable tonight, especially against a very good offense and all the things they can do.
Yeah, it was all about the defense, a well-balanced team we've seen with Seattle. Not so much this year, but in this primetime game, certainly they showed up, and they take first in the NFC West after the win last night. The Cardinals down to third for now. The Rams probably have something to say about both of these squads. Nate, it's good to see Seattle pull this out. The juicy fruit was not plucked out of the mouth of one.
No, what? You're right.
Did you say punched out of his mouth?
Smacked. I think it was smacked out of his mouth. That was at me yesterday.
Is it still time to panic? Still time to panic with the Seattle defense? I mean, I thought that Kyler Murray was supposed to rush all over the Seattle defense, right? I mean, at least that's what I thought. And you know what stood out to me? Russell Wilson in that suit stood out to me. And speaking of that suit, I wanted to say this.
Go on.
They tailor-fitted a defense that was suited to stop Kyler Murray.
Okay.
I mean, they know that those small gaps that he can run through, he can slide through like a thread through a needle. But they realized he was a blazer, Shrey. And he realized he was a blazer. So in order to tie him up, they had to aim for the vest and the legs, right? And they weren't slacking, which is exactly why they cuffed him up all game long.
Jacket punts.
So this offense is good, but this defense is now fitted to stop any type of threat. And the threat that Kyler Murray possesses, that run game, they bottled him up. It was beautiful. Control the edges, send everybody up the middle. Kyler Murray was destroying the league. And guess what? Seattle defense, they kept him in check.
I know we're in for a great show when at 7 a.m. Nate is doing preacher mode already. And I'm ready to go, dude.
Jacket punts.
Well, it's true, though. We dragged that Seattle defense not only yesterday, but for the last several weeks. And Kyle and I particularly have been critical on this defense. And Nate has been holding that ground, saying, they'll figure it out. I'm like, if not now, when? Last night was when. It was unbelievable. And the most important point of the game is that last drive. You got to realize, leading up to those last final plays, Kyler marched the team all the way down from the 20 to Larry. Here it is on second down. The defense steps up, specifically the pass defense, which has been much maligned. Then this Isabella play to have two defenders ready and him not be sitting there wide open like it's been all year long against this defense. And then for them to get a sack on Kyler Murray, which is probably the hardest thing to do for any team, to get this done with 4th and 10 and the season really hanging in the balance. You don't want to get swept by a division opponent, especially at this point in the year. Now they're kings of the NFC West. They're sitting up on top. They're looking down, and they know they have a defense. I thought the clutch nature of the defense to come up when it mattered most was almost more significant than the stats and what they did the rest of the day. Unbelievable performance. And you saw by the sideline, they knew how important it was. Seahawks have a defense. It does happen like that. Nate, maybe you were right.
We were all over them. Maybe we were just being petticoat with it.
Guys, historically bad defense. You guys shouldn't feel bad about coming down on them at all.
But it was more Nate was like, they're going to turn it around. And we're like, how? And then, listen, I'm looking at it right here. Kyler Murray, 5 carries for 15 yards. However, there's a weird thing that happened at the beginning of the game. He got crunched. And I don't think he was himself after he finished the game. He's gritty. But I mean it. There were more shots of him wincing on the sideline than were DK Metcalf in this game. Here it is. Look. And it's just...
You think that caused him to be hesitant to leave the pocket?
I don't know if it caused Kingsbury to be hesitant, to call his number more, or him to be hesitant, but we always say Kyler doesn't take the big hits. He got smushed.
You're right.
I mean, he got absolutely body slammed, and that little body cannot take that. This is the shot of the night. If we were to do Hall of Fame segment for this game for the Cardinals, it's this. It's that all night long, but look, credit Seattle. They're the ones who grabbed them. They're the ones who slammed them. I don't think we got the full Kyler Murray experience. There's no asterisk. I don't take the win away. I would have liked to see him run free, and I think he was a little hesitant running, and I think Cliff was a little hesitant calling his number. But listen, I can bring it full circle. Seattle, they took him to Taylor. You know what they dressed him in? Dressed him in a straitjacket. A nice 38 extra short straitjacket. And ain't no Houdini you can't get out. That was it. Credit to them.
I love it. All week long, I was talking about run game. We see the Seattle team run. That's how they made it was their bread and butter in 2018, 2019. Yesterday, we finally saw a balanced attack, guys. 31 pass plays, 31 run plays. You love to see it. They were 5-0 with Chris Carson. Keep that defense fresh out there. Run the ball. They committed to it, and I loved it. Russell Wilson had under 200 yards because it was working. They racked up 165 on the ground. I loved seeing that, and that makes me feel like they're going to make waves in the NFC. It makes me feel so much better about what they're doing. Run the ball. All right, more highlights ahead. Ian, we've got Justin Jefferson on the show. John Vilma on the show. Rap Sheet joining us right now. We saw Greg Olsen get taken off of the field last night. Ian, what's the latest?
Yeah, significant injury for veteran tight end Greg Olsen. My understanding is it is a ruptured plantar fascia. That is the injury, a non-contact injury, and he knew it was serious.